I think we took our shots, and even within those shots, we had opportunities. We just didn't quite get it done. I mean, I just felt like they did a pretty good job all day of just kind of slowing us down, not allowing us to get into a rhythm. Even though we ran the ball well, we weren't able to kind of capitalize on that and get in a rhythm and convert some third downs. And, we'd get to midfield, 40-yard line, and then we just kind of wouldn't be able to keep going. And there's always fault on us for not being able to make that happen. But at the same time, like I said, I think they just do a good job of slowing you down and not allowing you to do that. And I thought our O-line played well, and they were just able to do what they do on defense and kind of not allow us to make any big plays and then have to go the long way, and we weren't able to do it.
With the inconsistency in the passing game, the pick six, the finger, how are you able to kind of clear your head of that? And you had some big moments there down the stretch.
Yeah, well, I mean, stuff happens throughout the course of a game. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, I feel bad about the pick six, but at the same time, I didn't see the guy, and it's one of those plays you want back. It's the simplest play in the world. Play action, look for T, check it down. I gave T all the opportunities, and they just had the right coverage on. And I mean, like I said, you don't draw it up like that when that happens. It's one of the simplest plays in football. So those are going to hurt you. But
how do you feel like you played overall today?
Just kind of like I talked about. There were some things that where we started to kind of feel like we're going to go put a drive together, and then just got slowed down. And I feel like same with me. I was never really quite able to get in that rhythm and complete as many balls as I would like to.
How did you do on the team specifically? It seemed like they did a good job of targeting and trying to take him out.
For sure, I think they do a good job of playing top down and just kind of taking away some of the quick stuff by coming up and pressing, so you're not able to get the ball out of your hands to them really quick. And then in situations, they do a good job of playing top down with their eyes on the quarterback and having some help. There was times they played man, but I think they were able to drop some other guys underneath. And I think with T specifically, you're always kind of shading his way and then trying to just throw off his rhythm, whether that's at the line of scrimmage or holding your ground 10 yards down the field with your eyes back on the quarterback and making it tough to kind of break leverage.
How difficult or different is it running this offense without Jamar Chase?
Well, I think anytime you lose, not only one of the best players on your team, but one of the best players in football, you have, guys have to step up. But I think we still got a bunch of good players, and it's a shame that we didn't do what we wanted to today, but I definitely think we're capable of it.
Besides the Jamar distraction this week, there was a lot of talk about Joe Burrow potentially playing. Zach said you found out on Friday that you'd be definitely the starter. Did that change preparation or anything like that for you this week that was a challenge?
The good thing with my situation is, listen, I've played a lot of football, and I probably wasn't going to practice a lot this week anyway. I might have got a couple of reps on Thursday that wouldn't have ended up mattering that much. So no. That's just part of this business is, getting ready for a game, and each week presents its different challenges. And, Joe is, he's trying to feel out his body and get back on the field. So that's part of what you have to deal with.
Looking at the last month, is it almost cruel knowing a couple different plays and this could look like a much different story since you?
Well, yeah, listen, I mean, it's all about winning in this league. And, I've talked about it a lot. In order to get to that point, in order to win football games, everybody has to focus on their job, and then the wins come and take care of themselves. I think we've done a good job of doing that. We just haven't been, consistently good enough throughout 60 minutes. You can see little things getting better here and little things getting better there, and we're just not producing wins with those things. It's frustrating. Yes, it is, especially now that we're sitting here and you look back on all those. But like I've always said, when you're in the moment, you just got to continue to do your job little by little and look up at the end of the day and see what the results are. And the results haven't been what we want them to be. But I do think we've done a lot of good things in that meantime.
Zach said the last drive.
Health-wise on a short week.
do you think that you'd be able to play if called upon Thursday?
I assume so. I mean, you never know with fingers, but I mean, the fact that I was able to get out there and do it right now and stuff like that, like, yeah, I mean, I literally, like, yeah, my shoulder actually feels really good. I think my shoulder's done nothing but gotten better the last 3 weeks, and everything else, feels great, so.
Zach said the last drive was, with Gennaro, Tio, guys were lining up where, nobody ever lined up before. What was that last drive like for you with just kind of trying to move?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I have all the confidence in the world in everybody that we throw out there, and I think you could see that. I think, a different guy made a play on each one, as we started moving down the field, and, Mitch gets in, the second to last drive, and, not that he wasn't in, but, gets a chance on a go ball and wins. And, it's a shame because there are always positives in games like these, but when you don't win them, it's hard to feel like it matters. So, that's why winning is such a big deal. It can highlight, guys stepping up and doing good things in those roles. And since we weren't able to do it, it kind of goes unseen.
I just want to follow up on what you were saying about how it's your job to get ready. Is it hard to deal with the situation you're going to for the next, whether it's few days or few weeks, with this storyline about when Joe can come back, in that if you do end up being his backup whenever he comes, like, you didn't lose your job because of a results thing, like you're playing really well or you're not hurt, like, does it make it that much harder to accept, or like what's this like for you behind the scenes?
I think as a competitor, you always want to be out there on the field. I mean, this is what I live to do, is go out in that field and play football. But at the same time, I feel really fortunate to have kind of found myself in this situation. As much as I would have loved to see us win games, I still have had a lot of fun here with these guys in the locker room. Going out, lacing them up with these guys has been a lot of fun. And I've felt right at home and have had a blast doing it. And I don't think I really am looking anything past that. I get it. I get how certain feelings could be involved with this, but in this case, it's easy for me to kind of put those aside and just look at the positives of the whole thing, and and be excited for another teammate trying to work his way back. So it might sound like crap and like I'm lying, and yeah, there is a tough part of not being out there. There always is. But I feel like I've put my head down and worked hard the last however long it's been, and I've had a lot of fun with these guys, and it's always I don't know, it's just always I don't know, I keep saying fun, but I want to say something else. But when you're in there with guys and you make relationships with them and you're out there battling on the field with them, and you can look each other in the eyes and know that you've been doing that the right way, then you really can't worry about the other things.
Safe to say that you just are going out there playing and let the rest of it take care of itself. Is that?
I think that's ultimately kind of the secret in terms of like playing football, is like you want things, right? You want things to happen. But there's got to be a piece of you that lets it happen. You can't force things, and you can't try to, you just can't. And I think as you get older and the more you play and the more you just experience everything, you realize that. You gain a little bit of perspective, and you realize, and then there's times in the moment where you still want to try to do too much, or whatever it is, and worry about what's happening at the end. But I think the more you do it, you do find out that the secret is to just go out there and do what you love to do to the best of your ability, and let the things fall in place. And I think if you get a collective group of guys doing that, then you have what you want.
Two quick things, just to circle back on the game real quick. Does the lack of rhythm maybe affect how you see the field? Is there a correlation probably how you saw today was the rhythm?
No, I mean it's it's good defense and maybe not as good of offense as we would like, and that's what good teams do. Like even like today, it didn't feel like anything crazy, but it was harder because they just are good at what they do, and they make it tough for you to complete underneath passes. There's times where you drop the ball down underneath and you get 25-yard gains and stuff like that. And these guys, because they're able to rally to the ball and do things like that, they make those things hard. They're not going to give you anything. And listen, this is the type of games this is the type of game it ends up being. When you go against good teams, it's 26-20, and you have a chance to win. It's kind of how we felt like the game against Pittsburgh should have probably went last week, but we made mistakes. Obviously, we did make a mistake in this game, but ultimately we didn't. We kept the game within striking distance, and we just weren't able to get it done at the end.
And secondly, going back to the way the line of questioning was going, what was it like kind of walking off? What was running through your mind as you walked off the field at the end of that one? What were you thinking about this way down the tunnel?
I don't know, the same thing you're probably always thinking when, you come up a little short. You're just a little bit, you're thinking about what you could have done on the last couple plays and can't wait to go look at it and maybe see what you could have done and beat yourself up about it a little bit. It's the same as always.
So what's your body feel like tomorrow compared to the Joe of like 31?
I think playing quarterback, it's always week to week. Sometimes you get really beat up, and sometimes you play really physical games, and other times you don't. And I really don't think because I'm 40, I feel different waking up. I mean, everybody always says that, once you hit 30 or once you hit 40, wait till you get out of bed and this happens. Yeah, I have to stay on top of things more. But in terms of waking up and how my body reacts, I'm so much better at taking care of myself and actually doing the things to prepare your body for success than I was when I was 25 years old. So I think if there is any drop off at 40, it makes up that you're a little bit more aware of how to do things. So.
How often do you have to pop your finger? Is that common when you have to do that mid-game before, or is that?
I've never done that. I've never had to do it.
How's that feel?
I mean, it didn't feel like much. I mean, I didn't know I did it until I looked down at it, and then I came over and Matt just popped it in. Popped it back into place, and then it was just like, okay, I can throw.
Yeah.
There you go.
Were you curious what that first throw was going to feel like after you popped it back in?
Yeah, I was. That's why I threw a couple balls on the sideline, and Jake did a good job, completed the ball, and but I didn't want to let him have too much fun out there. So.
Index finger?
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks,
Joe.
All right.
Joe, appreciate it.